united as a generation and as a people who are angry at the same thing. See, for the longest time, we were told we were not angry enough. But this time around, we have been angry enough to demand accountability. And the best part about this is that no one can control the kind of anger that we have. You know, previously, if you had a leader, the leader can be quelled in one way or the other, and then you decide now that you're no longer going to be angry. But having a leaderless movement has been so important for us, because if my anger says that we must expose abuses, then I proceed to do that, and no one can stop me from that. So to answer your question, now more than ever before, we've been able to record a lot of abuses and document them. And while we are still in that process, and of course, a few people are still very timid to come forward and say, look, I experienced enforced disappearances, I experienced police police brutality. At least we're having a few voices come up and say, hey, this happened to me. And most importantly, the power of technology. It's played a very pivotal role in this, I'll call it a revolution. It's played a pivotal role in this revolution because everyone has become a human rights defender. To be a young human rights defender, for a very long time, most people always ask you the question, oh my God, why are you so angry? Why do you wake up every morning and you're angry at something? But now we have all now become human rights defenders, and we are holding people to account, and we are able to track the people that have maybe experienced these injustices and sort of get information and detailed information at that. So I think that has been major. But that does not take away from the fact that it's been very disheartening. The fact that a peaceful protest, in fact, a peaceful protest has been meted with so much violence on young people who really did not even have any interest in destroying anything or any kind of property, but we've experienced a lot of killings, and we're still documenting those, and we intend to publish a few reports here and there about this. But it's still a shame. It's still a shame that the government thinks that oppression is going to work in this era. And it's so unfortunate that these leaders really just read from the same chapter, really, because Zimbabwe is still facing the same right now. I think last week we had something written on the political repression in Zim and how protesters also have experienced police brutality. But I would hope that the government understands that the tides are changing and that the people who are there now are not scared of what Nyayo House was. That is not to disregard in any way what people experience in Nyayo House. But that is to say that now it's not a word that we revere speaking about. And torture chambers to us just gives us more reason to be angry and to hold these people accountable. I mean, when you look at our Twitter space, it's, I think, one of the freest spaces that I've ever seen, because we will plaster people there, we will plaster members of parliament, we'll plaster cabinet secretaries, and talk about the corruption scandals. I think I read today morning about someone whose child was involved in something, and then they were covered up, right? But the fact that Kenyans as a group have united to become human rights defenders, and it's not just been left to the civic space or the CSO space, I think that's something that's very commendable. And also just to have other people and other young people from other countries want to learn with us. I mean, I think Uganda was very key on this, because I think they brought out one of the killer cops, and they were like, look, this guy is from Uganda, actually. He has been brought all the way to Kenya. We would not have had that kind of information if we did not have the unity that we have now, and also technology, which I have to emphasize on. So the long and the short of it is that the journey to documenting these abuses has just begun, and the government is trying every way possible to try and shrink the civic space, but I don't think that's going to happen now, because we are not working alone. It's not just CSOs, it's not just a few organizations that are noticeable or a few faces that are noticeable. It's everyone who's united on the same front to just call out the abuses and just document in the best way possible. So our work has been made easier, because now we just have to verify and then now amplify the same. So yeah, that's where we stand right now. I think I'm happy that everyone now has come on the same front, that look, the enemy is people who are meting violence on innocent people, and the enemy is the people who do not want us to progress, and they're using our funds in the wrong way. So yeah, we still continue on this fight. It's just begun.